Hello and welcome. I'm Roger Roundy, the CEO of Strategic Associates. The objective of this video is to give you a high-level overview of our firm and our value proposition. Strategic Associates is a risk and tax mitigation consulting firm. Our job is to help our clients find ways in which they can appropriately and legally reduce their taxable income through the advanced strategies that we use. Ultimately, our firm believes that the lifeblood of our economy is the small to mid-sized taxpayer. That's our passion, is helping those individuals keep more of their hard-earned money through advanced tax and risk mitigation solutions. But before I go into the actual programs, I want to tell you a little bit about me and my firm. I love our country. I fly a flag out front of my house. I drive a Ford F-150. I have a wife and 5 kids, 2 cats and a dog. I believe that we live in the greatest place on earth. It's a blessing to live here. And I believe that as citizens of this country, we all should pay as much in taxes as we're obligated to, but not a penny more. So I've spent my career analyzing the various programs available that I can help my clients implement to reduce their tax liability. There's lots of programs out there. There's always a right way and a wrong way to do anything when it comes to tax mitigation. Every code can be used, overused, and flat out abused. Our job is to make sure that if we're helping our clients implement a particular strategy, it's going to be done within the intent and confines of the code. As our reputation as tax mitigation specialists has grown, our repertoire of options has also grown. So we're not a product-specific firm. Promoters of particular strategies will come to our firm and say, hey, Roger, you should look at this and help your clients implement this particular strategy. Prior to us ever representing any of these strategies that come to us, we first turn the strategy over to our SMART team. These are the guys who read the tax code and enjoy reading the tax code. When they're introduced to his program, they will basically dissect it. They'll look at it for relevancy within the code, make sure we're within the intent and confines of the code, that it's been established correctly, and that it's well defendable. Prior to us promoting the strategy, we'll require that the particular promoter also offer audit defense on the deduction that we're helping them take. So our commitment is that Strategic Associates is not just offering fly-by-night strategies that haven't been well vetted. Once the SMART team is comfortable, we'll then add that to our repertoire of options. At this point, we have a plethora of options in which we can help our clients implement the strategy to reduce their tax liability. What we do is we meet with our client to determine what type of income they have, how much it is, how it's going to be taxed, what type of income it is, and then we're going to look at 1, 2, or 3 different solutions that are going to help you reduce that tax liability through the implementation of a particular program. In the tax mitigation space, there's basically 4 categories of solutions that will reduce your taxable income. Category 1, I call our business deduction category. That's where we're helping business owners increase their expenses, which in turn reduces their taxable income. One of those solutions is Section 831B. It's an incentive that Congress created to allow business owners to protect their own risk and receive a tax deduction for so doing. The second category is business creation. Congress incentivizes entrepreneurship. So there's incentives when we create a new business. So there's various programs within that category. One of them in particular is our structured ownership program, where we are able to create a new business, receive the tax benefits, and accelerate those expenses into year 1. The third category is a category we call leveraged charitable gifting. This is more of a personal deduction. The first 2 are above the line deductions, the line meaning adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross income is a combination of all your different types of income, whether it's capital gains, W-2, 1099, K-1, all that income establishes your adjusted gross income. Above the line deductions reduce your adjusted gross income. The next category, personal deductions or leveraged charitable gifting, reduce your taxable income from the adjusted gross income. So these leveraged charitable gifting strategies use the benefits of charitable gifting, but we use the power of leverage to increase your donation dollar. Instead of getting a 1-to-1 deduction when you donate to your church or to a nonprofit, we're able to get a 1-to-5 or a 1-to-6 or even a 1-to-10 deduction, reducing the amount of cash needed to receive a much bigger deduction. The fourth category are our tax credit programs. Okay, it's important to understand the difference between a deduction and a tax credit. A deduction reduces your taxable income. So if you have a $100,000 tax deduction and you had $400,000 of adjusted gross income, you write off $100,000, you now have $300,000 of adjusted gross income that's now taxable. That's what a deduction does. Tax credits are applied to your tax liability. So if you have a $100,000 tax credit and you had a $100,000 tax liability, you apply the credit towards your tax liability. Your tax liability goes from 100 down to 0 because you had a $100,000 tax credit. There are various programs out there that are available to help incentivize certain behaviors. Again, that's all tax code really is. Tax code 101, Congress sees a problem, they want to incentivize a fix. So they incentivize behaviors through tax benefits to accomplish a certain behaviors. It's important to understand that there's a difference between tax mitigation and tax evasion. Tax evasion, well, that's not claiming your income. That's not the world we're living in, because that gets you an orange jumpsuit and some time in jail. Tax mitigation is reducing your taxable income through utilization of incentives that Congress has put in place. So our process is pretty simple. Come to us, let us know what your tax problem is. Once we understand what your tax problem is, we're going to identify 1, 2, or 3 different solutions that we're going to help you implement and reduce that taxable income using the strategies that the elite and the Fortune 500 guys have been using for years. Because why shouldn't you be able to utilize the same things that the Donald Trumps and the Elon Musks and the Mitt Romneys are using? It's all about education and understanding. So most of our time is spent educating clients, CPAs, tax attorneys on these appropriate solutions so that they can take advantage of the same things that the Fortune 500 are doing. Ultimately, our role is not to replace anybody on your team. We are an extension of your financial team. The next step is to meet with one of our results facilitators, because your uncommon income deserves uncommon planning. Looking forward to working with you. We'll talk to you soon.